F'd up my marriage and it is killing me. My wife and I have been married for 13 years, and together for 15. We have 2 kids together and 3 from a previous marriage. Our marriage has been wonderful, and we have both been incredibly happy. Obviously there are bumps and obstacles, but we managed to get through it. Much of our marital success has been through communication and culpability. We own our mistakes and know when to apologize. I couldn't ask for a better partner or best friend. She's all I want. About 4 years ago we started getting a little more kinky in the bedroom. It led to us involving fantasies of other people being with each other. The fantasies, roleplay, and kinks grew and we eventually started getting comfortable with the idea of swinging. We perused the lifestyle in different mediums and played out different scenarios, but never did anything because we weren't comfortable starting this new lifestyle until my wife was happier with her weight. Over those 4 years our fantasies expanded into ideas about more poly relationship stuff. In my head I was having no issues and felt comfortable, turned on to it, and excited at the prospect of my wife being with someone else sexually. In my head, we talked a lot over this time frame to make sure we were both okay with it. She was not quite comfortable with me being with someone else, but I told her that was okay and that she could feel differently after she hooked up for the first time. We knew she would be the first because I was too exhausted to really consider putting any effort into an additional relationship on my end. So I reassured her that I was okay with her finding someone. I told her all I wanted was for her to send me pics and videos and I would be happy. I was 100% convinced I was okay. Recently she and I agreed she could start talking to guys and see where things go. Randomly, while she was wading through men on our different platforms, she was messaged by a guy she knew when we originally met. Prior to her meeting me they had hooked up. Didn't bother me. They started talking and then she asked if he could be the guy. I told her it was absolutely fine. Again, in my head it was. They made a plan for an overnight stay and things were then in the works. The day came and she went to his place where she spent all day and night and the following morning having intimacy. There was a point after she started having intimacy with him that she sent me a message excited to tell me she wrote him. Because she was partly doing this for me. She knew I had wanted this and was so happy to finally tell me it had happened. It hit me at the moment I read that message that I had made a deadly error. That I hadn't in fact wanted her to do this without me being there the first time. My heart sank. My mind went numb. And I no longer knew how to feel. To me it was like I missed something important, and not only that, but because I wasn't there I had allowed a disconnect to occur between us. I was not in the lifestyle, she was without me. I did not know how to respond to her but felt it was selfish of me to reverse everything we had been leading up to and telling her I didn't want it this way. But it was too late. Even if I had told her to come home, she had already had intimacy with him. The rest of the night into the next day was filled with fluctuating high panic attacks, anxiety, depression, numbness, and disappointment in myself. I have been angry at things I've done, but this was one of my biggest regrets. I am so angry at what I allowed and fooling myself into thinking I was okay with her doing this without me. I couldn't hide my feelings. How the F could I? They were far too heavy to pretend like they didn't exist. She felt it. With my single word responses and attempts to avoid an explanation of how I was doing, I knew she could feel the vibe had changed. I raged at myself for being such a pathetic effing insecure selfish brat. She was doing it for me. I gave her 100% confidence in what she was doing. She came home the next day and I told her. We both felt broken by this. Confused. Shaken. I hate myself because this is not how I wanted her to feel. I told her nothing she did was wrong. I don't blame her and I hold no ill will towards the guy she slept with. I don't. I am furious at myself for not recognizing what would be an issue before it was too late. She was in tears because she knew I wasn't looking at her the same way anymore, and that now she doesn't know what to do. And I told her I don't know either. It feels like the kind of heartbreak that may be akin to missing your child's first steps because they were at daycare. But it was more than that, because it began feeding into other things. My insecurities blew the F up. My paranoia jumped. My fears over losing her grew exponentially. Now I know she will start resenting me because I can't handle her doing it again unless I was there with her. But that to her is constraining now that we've been so accepting of a poly lifestyle for so long. She likes him. He made her feel good. They took pics and videos for me, which I have watched, but she wanted that other thing outside of us. Initially when she came home I didn't want to be touched, but over a few hours it was hard for me to see her in tears and I did my best to turn the switch and see if I could reverse my mentality. I held her for a while, and then I decided I was comfortable reclaiming her, which she was afraid I wouldn't want. After we had intimacy, which was amazing, I felt a little more comfortable with things and told her I was trying to figure poop out, but that I didn't want my F up to deter us from our plans, and that this issue mainly came down to me not being there the first time. It truly made me feel like my wife was in another life altogether without me. I told her it was okay to keep talking to him, but any future experiences should be done together. I could see that bothered her and I understood why. Eventually last night we got into another discussion about how distant this all made me feel from her. She asked if I wanted her to step back, but as much as I want her to, I truly don't because it's what she wants and I do my best to make her happy. I didn't want this to feel like a trap. I didn't want it to come off like manipulation. I 100% thought I was okay. That it's what we both wanted. Why the F did my imagination have to be such a powerful potent form of confidence building that I relied on it to tell me how I would actually feel? Why didn't we agree to take our initial experiences slowly and as a couple? Now every day I have a panic attack thinking about it. I didn't mean for this and I don't want it.